Okay, so I'm back to finish the drawer. So here's my drawer, my strips, Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my corners on first. So I'm just going to, my corners inside and outside first. So, and I'm just going to leave them cut straight across the bottom. It's good to go. Some of these are real short ones, but that one seemed to fit just perfectly. This one's going to stick up a little bit, but it's okay. Okay. I'll just do that in a little bit. Okay. And I'm just going to cut these down. And it's actually easier to do this with littler scissors than Tim Holtz's scissors. And the other thing you can do too, if you have a little bit, this one's going to have a little bit that sticks up on it, is you could actually even take, let me get a small pair of scissors, but you could take a sanding block and sand it down. But get some littler scissors that'll cut better. Not so big and bulky. Okay. Okay, now let's put some on the outside. And then I've already kind of fitted my drawer. I wanted to see how it was going to fit before I started the video back up. And I am going to show you how to make it. If it seems to be, like I said, I'd rather have more at a bigger gap than the drawer being too tight, too big, too snug. This one has a little bit more of a gap than what I like, so I'm going to actually make it fit, and I'm going to show you how you do that with a simple fix. And I've done this before on projects, and the only person that's going to know that you did it is you. Nobody else is going to know anything. So trim this off. Get that piece off right there. Okay. There's another small one here somewhere. Whoops, there's one on there, there's one on there. Get one on here. Then here's one. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and put our strips inside. So you want to make this to where it's going to, and yeah, measuring the inside would be easier more than likely. This is good. So I need 2 of these long ones for the inside. I'm going to cut 2 of them. Okay. We're going to do the inside. What we're going to do is we're going to get the inside, and then we're going to do the top, cover up the top raw edges. Then we're going to do the bottom, and that's when we're going to decide if we need to thicken our bottom a little bit so that there's not as much of a gap at the top of the drawer, but at the same time you want the drawer to slide in and out easy. So the only way you're going to know that is by completing your drawer. It's the only way you're going to know that. Some of these I think are going to fit better than others. No, too small. Way too short. What's this one? Too long. But is it as long as these? See, I'll go through and I'll pull out my other ones so that I'd rather cut off less than more and save the bigger strips for somewhere down the road. Oh, those fit perfect. So this one is, I want 1, 2 of those. We're going to use those. I could have trimmed the other ones off of just a tear and made them work, but I would just rather save the length and use these other little pieces I have. And I don't even know what paper I'm going to put on these yet. So what I will probably do is finish building this and get you to where you can at least get the project built. And then I will come back and show you my paper choice at the end. Because I've already made one of these, but you can get more than one out of a package of paper for sure. Okay, let's see that up here. I need to get these up here. Perfect. Angle this a little bit. Tad bit off. Okay, so let's test these. It's going to wrap around just fine. There's that one. Oh, this one needs to be trimmed off a little bit more. There we go. Okay, now we need the outsides. Wow, that's a long one. That one's better. That one works. And that one, I don't want to cut those super long ones up. Okay. So let's see here. There, to there, there. Okay, cut our angles so they fit. So it folds over nice and neat. Okay, so there's our drawers all done, but we haven't gone around the outside of the bottom yet. So I'm going to take my drawer and I'm going to drop it in there. And see, it's got a pretty good gap down there. Well, if you just take another piece of chipboard and drop it in there, and you can say, okay, that looks better. And if you're still not happy with it, just take another piece. I mean, I'm going to be happy with that because, well, I think I am. Yeah, this would be way too tight. If it doesn't go in easy, see, this isn't going in, it's actually pulling out the other piece. If it's not going in easy, don't add it. So now that I know I want to add a piece of chipboard, I can glue this down here. Then I take my strips and I cover the outside, and nobody's going to know that I extended that bottom, but you and I. But I've made too many drawers where I've had it be too tight, and then you're left with trying to sand down the sides and stuff to make it slide in and out, and then you're guessing because each layer of paper you put on makes it adds to it. You think paper is thin, and it is thin until you start adding layer after layer after layer, and then it can become a problem. And the same thing with the width wise this way, because if it fits snug without having any more paper on the sides, guess what? It's not going to slide in and out very easy. So I make sure that they fit good. And the other thing with the recipe box that you want to know is that 4x6 is going to fit in here. So the inside dimensions on this one is 6 1/8, 6 1/8 by about 4 1/4, 4 1/4. So you know a 4x6 recipe card is going to fit down inside there, without a doubt. Okay, so now we want to take and we want to put this on here. So now we want to take our strips and do the same thing that we did on the top and stuff on the bottom. Want to go ahead and cover it up. And then we will actually be done. The only thing I have left to do, that I will do when I finish this, is create my oven, the front window on this. And I haven't gone and gotten a graphic. I go get a graphic of a pie or a turkey or a prime rib or some kind of graphic of something you want in your oven to be cooking at the time. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these pieces on this way, and I'm not going to cut angles on them because you're going to end up seeing the bottom of the drawer. So I don't want to see that. I'm going to leave these straight. So I'm going to leave the side ones straight. Where's another piece? Here we are. And see that the same thing counts with this. When you do this, you're going to add a little bit more to it when you put on the, if you put paper on the bottom of your drawer, you're going to add another little thickness to it there. Okay. So there's that and that. Okay, now I can do this one. There's that, and one more piece here. All right, so there we have our drawer, and now when I go to slide it in, guess what? It goes in. It'll go in and fall out, which is what you want it to do. Then I will be taking and putting a piece, I think. I'll see how I like it when I get done. But a lot of times I take and I put a flap bigger than the drawer front over it to cover that up with. And if I do that, it'll come out just about right, because then it'll match pretty much. That's why I wanted the drawer to set in a little bit. It'll pretty much match the front here. If your drawer sits down in a little bit, it gives you that little bit of a lip to where you can put your drawer front on it. Or your drawer front can even stick over the top of it if you want. That's not a problem either. But right now, I'm taking, let me get rid of these messy things because I don't need any more strips. We're done with the strips now. We're done putting strips on. I can't begin to tell you how much it takes because usually I sit watching TV and I just make up a whole bunch of them. I take them and I sit with my scoreboard, my score pal, and I score. And then I turn around and I get my tape and I sit there and I just tape everything up. Okay, so here we are. Here's the top of our oven. See, we have a drawer, we have oven top. Perfect. Oh, that's what we were going to do. Let's do that right now. We're going to take a strip of our thing that we did. Oh, I wanted to wrap it around. So I want to get a full-length strip. Let me take this back off of here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to start here and I'm going to wrap it around, around, and around and back. So I'm not, and I don't know how long it needs to be, and I don't care. So I'm just going to peel off the side, off the paper. I'm going to take and waste some tape, I'm sure, but that's okay. So I'm going to peel the whole thing off. And then, and if you want, you could start, in matter of fact, I think I will because of over here. I'm going to start this, you know what? I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to kind of center this a little bit, best I can. So I'm going to cover this up this way. Okay, so there's that. And there's approximately, let's see how good I guessed. I can guess well and I can guess pretty bad. That's about almost 2 inches and a little over 2 inches. I didn't guess too bad. So I'm going to put that up to cover the gap where these two pieces were joined. And I'm going to run this across here this way. And it's going to cover. See, and it's sticking down on here, which is fine. Because then I got that stuck. Let's get this wrapped around too. Wrap around. Go ahead and wrap the other side around. There. Now all our tape is attached. And then you can trim it this way, trim it that way, or trim it that way, and then push this around the corner like that. And I think that's what I'm going to do this way and this way. And just wrap that around there. So see, it comes around to the front side there. Okay. So we've covered all of that. Of course, this is covered. This up here isn't covered. And we're going to take and do our strips. Here, when I said we were done with the strips. We're going to do the strips that go here. The only problem is, oh, but you're not going to see that up there, are you? No, the only thing you see is down here because we put of course, I've already covered that with a strip. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one of, this is going to go here and here. Before I do that, I'm going to take a small piece. Give me a small one, a real small one. I'm going to take this scrap right here. I'm going to fold it. And I'm going to cut this in half. So I only want a half of it. I do want to go ahead and I want to cover the top of this where this is come together. I want to do it just like this. Can I do? Ooh, I can. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to kind of center it on here and I'm going to wrap it around both ways. this way and this way, and I'm going to wrap it this way. That's going to cover those edges. See, these edges are already covered here because remember I had you put the tape going the piece going 2 different directions. So I did that there. I'm just going to save this other little piece because sometimes they come in handy. So then I need to put a piece up here. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just making, I got to make sure because we need it to cover there. So let's just take a small one. I'm just going to put that there. So here's just a one that's like a 1-inch piece. Again, this is where your little scraps sometimes can come in handy. This looks like about a 1-inch piece though. And I am going to cover this right there. That covers that edge. Then with a piece here, here, and across the back, all the raw edges are covered. Yep. So we're going to put this on here this way. That one. Too short. This one will work. That'll work. And then I need one more long piece. The longest one I have in here. This one is long. Is this long enough? No. Okay, so none of those will work, so I need to cut another piece. Okay. You know, I'm really tempted to do, but the thing is you can build up too much, and like I say, each layer of paper can actually end up making a difference, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to try to wrap one all the way across the top. There we go. Okay, so now this is all covered. So see, then we'll put strips of paper. This will become one piece of paper for pattern paper. Pattern paper. This here needs to trim down because it's catching. There we go. And that'll all be covered up with one piece of paper. There we go. Okay, so there's our top all done. So now, yeah, looks like looking good. I like it, I like it. Okay, so the next thing to do is to create the piece for the front oven door. That's going to be your window. So I've cut a piece 3 by 5, and I take my ruler, my Tim Holtz ruler, and a pencil, and I go a 1/2 inch all the way around. Half, half, half. And while on everything else I covered the raw edges with strips, I do not do it with this piece, because you can take your paper and cut it to size so you really don't see much. Or you can leave a little bit of an edge. I kind of left like a 1/16 of an inch of black around it that you could see from it, but that's strictly up to you. So I did my 1/2 inch all the way around, and now it just means getting my X-Acto knife and my ruler and standing up because I can't do this sitting down. Oh, and then I cut crooked. I have a hard time with that. I do better with a box knife. Not a box knife, but a utility knife like what the carpenters use when it comes to cutting this kind of stuff like this. Then I took my corner chomper, my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and chomped the outside of my corners rounded. And of course, at that point, you can kind of use, if you've got one, you can use any of the ones. You can put any kind of pitch on it you want, any kind of swing. Okay. Whoops, flip it across the room. Now when you flip it over, see? Now here's the thing you can do with this. Let me get my corner chomper. Once you figure out what pattern paper you want on it, it's very easy just to tape it down, glue it down, and go ahead and cut it back out again. There. Now, I did take, with this one, there's a piece of vellum back in there. Then there's my pie cutout in there. And there's a piece of acetate over the top of it. So I took the vellum, went on the back side, then the pie went in the middle, and then the acetate went over the top, and then the pattern paper went over the top of that. So that was how I did this piece right here. I gave it the look of glass, the acetate, you know, mainly because it also will help keep things nice too. So I did the acetate part of it. And let me grab a couple things to show. These are what I bought at Hobby Lobby. They're from Spare Parts. They're called Chalk Charms Round 6 Pieces. So there's 6 of these on here, and they have the little thing to hang them from. I just took my Tim Holtz scissors and cut that little piece off of there. That's what my burners are. I was there last night. They didn't have any more, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do on this one. I may wait till I can find these again. But they're 6 in a package. So if you're going to make like more than one, catch them on the half-off day and get 2 packages. They're only $3.99 a package. So that's what I used. And again, I just cut off the little circle right there. Just cut it off with my Tim Holtz scissors, cut off real easy. And that's what I did for my 4 burners. Then I took some thinner chipboard and a 1-inch circle punch, and I punched 8 circles and glued them 2 together. So there underneath here, there's 2 pieces of 1-inch chipboard or 1-inch circle chipboard. So it gives it it lifts it up. You can see it lifts it up off a little bit just for the dimension of it. So there's 2 pieces. I glued them together, and then I used my glossy accents to glue this piece on, and I used glossy accents to glue it onto the paper. These guys, I actually went ahead and made them when I was sitting watching TV. So what I have done, here it is. So it's a 7/8 of an inch scallop circle punch, a 1/2 inch black paper, poke a hole in the center, and then I will be taking these guys, my hitch fasteners that are dry, take it off of here, and then put it on here. So there's my knob. There's my knobs for the stove. It'll go on there. Let's see. Let's look better on here. I think you'll see it better. See, that'll go like that. And I might do this one different. I might take this one and actually go ahead and put 4 burners over here and 2 rows of knobs there. I'm just not sure. But that's what I've done with those. This is some of the silver shiny paper. You should be able to find it pretty good at Christmas time right now. And then your 1/4 inch circle punch. And then, like I say, just paint your hitch fasteners, push them up through there. And if you want to, you could put them through the chipboard, poke your holes and put them through the chipboard. But like I said, I liked the dimension that it gave it because it sits up just enough off of there to for some little bit of dimension, and I really liked the way it looked. So I just took mine and I used glossy accents and glued them down, and of course let them sit. They need to sit and dry overnight to get a good seal, but they work really well. So those are what I did for my knobs. Now the other thing you could kind of do, and maybe I'll cut, I might do it with this one, who knows. You could also cut yourself, put some burners on here, cut something to be, this on here, right? Cut something to be like a griddle. You could put your knobs up here. You could stick your knobs out. Let me take this top off. You could put your burners in a griddle thing, and you could make your knobs come off up here, like a stove, you know, your knobs come up there. And get one of the Tim Holtz clock faces and put it right there in the center. You know, or you could take a piece of the shiny paper. You could put a burner here, and then just take a piece of shiny paper and stick it down in the center. Get that back out there. And then just put a piece of shiny paper here, just kind of between the two, so you have a place to set stuff. Because most ovens have, most stovetops have a distance between the two. So you could actually put these up here, get yourself a Tim Holtz clock face and put it here. I saw a small one at Hobby Lobby last night and I thought about it, but I didn't end up getting it. And maybe that's what I'll do with this one. And then just have your counter, your burners here. And I did buy some circle wood pieces that might, I'm going to put these in here so nothing happens to them, that I thought might work well for burners too. But I don't know. I'll just play around with them, and there's my handles to go on my. And so with the handle for the drawer down here at the bottom, it's one of the reasons why sometimes I like to put this false drawer front on it like I did here. See, it sticks out past it and stuff. Because you can put your handle on and you put your brads through it, smash them down on the back side, then glue it on, and again it hides the backs of your brads, and it just makes it more secure. So, and I don't know for this one, let's see what size I will do for this one. So this ends up being obviously wider than your drawer. So I want to do 6 7/8 wide by well, it's looking like 1 1/2. Yep, 6 7/8 by 1 1/2. So let's do, let me cut a 1 1/2 inch strip. How wide is this? Oh, this is wide enough. Okay, so let's go this way with it. is 1.5. And I want 6 7/8. No, I say 6 7/8. What did I say? I said 6 7/8. There. So see, then I can put this on here this way, go all the way across with my handle on it, like that. And again, on the drawer, you can just take your chipboard. You don't have to cover your raw edges like we did everything else. Just take your paper and just adhere it all the way across. Cover the chipboard all the way. And yeah, and you're good. This needs a little bit of trim right here, I can see. There. There we go. That works better. Nope, it doesn't either. Looks like I cut it just a tad bit in the wrong spot, but that's okay. I'll work with it and make it be just what I need it to be, so that this fits and it's straight across the bottom. Okay, so there we are. There's my drawer. There's my drawer front that this will adhere to, and then the other one will go up here, and then my frame for my Here it is. The frame for my oven door go there. So I'll be back with another video when I get it all papered and stuff, since I have no clue what I'm going to put where. I hope you enjoy making this, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. Thanks for watching.